The Secrets of TV is brought to you by the StarQuest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit GiveStarQuest.com. You're listening to The Secrets of Television. Hi, I'm Dom Bettinelli, and on The Secrets of Television, we take a closer look at the stories behind the stories, exploring the themes, characters, and hidden meanings in the shows everyone's watching and the classics worth remembering. This time we're discussing Monarch Season 2, Ends of the Earth. It is the penultimate episode. I like saying penultimate. It makes me sound smart. It is the penultimate episode, and joining me on this episode are Jeff Haecker. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, Dom.
And Patrick Mason. Hey, Patrick.
Howdy, Dom.
Folks, be sure to follow The Secrets of TV in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, your favorite podcast app, or at the StarQuest YouTube channel at youtube.com/StarQuestMedia, where you should like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to get notifications. So, well, let's get into the recap, and then we'll talk about this one. Here's the recap. Godzilla chases Titan X across the ocean, while Monarch pursues them both toward Skull Island. Godzilla lets Titan X follow Elizabeth Simmons' rogue team onto the island to retrieve her egg. He goes back to take a nap. Having kept order among the Titans, Godzilla says, "You're on your own." Monarch's
Peace out,
team,
yo.
Daddy-o. Monarch's team lands on Skull Island with two goals: track Titan X and find Kate and Kintaro. And the third goal is stay alive, which they fail. Kate and Kintaro are being held as guests, quote-unquote, of Isabel Simmons. Kate tries to convince Kintaro he's backing the wrong side. Meanwhile, Lee and Keiko follow Bill Randa's old notes about a central hub, or Grand Central Station, for a rift on the island. Keiko and Shaw trace Bill's maps to a stable rift, matching Titan X's migratory route. At the final rift point, Keiko finds probes that Bill sent containing notes promising to love her, quote, to the ends of the earth and beyond. To infinity, if it never mind.
And beyond.
Isabel's team, meanwhile, uses implants to boost Titan X's aggression, and it roars, ready to face Kong. There was a bad joke in there about implants, but I won't. Jeff, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, as the penultimate one, I thought it was pretty good. I wish there had been a little bit more of the Godzilla Titan X fight, because when I first watched this back when it aired, I thought that the fight continued, but when this episode picks up, yeah, it's just Kong's chasing Titan X. Titan X gets back to Skull Island, and Godzilla's just content to let it do its thing. So I was
kind of says like, and stay out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was a little bit not disappointed, but I guess I just remembered, I thought the fight was longer, and that there was more of it. And I mean, I guess with a limited budget, you're only going to do so much in a TV show, and you want to save the big stuff for the movies.
Right. But
so that was a little bit, I guess I would have liked a little bit more there. I thought the plan of, I guess it's still like, I mean, I get that people would do this, but it's also like, okay, nobody has learned anything about trying to control Titans with Isabel's plan of like, we couldn't do it once, let's try it even harder. It's the Michael Scott meme of like, you know what, I'm going to do it even harder to control a Titan. So that, yeah, her whole plan, I think overall is just kind of a little bit silly. I mean, I guess like you just need her, like you introduce her, and yeah, I don't know if they were just trying to like fill time with this subplot, because it doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense why they have this in here. I don't know. It
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, because like you don't know anything about how the rifts work and how Axis Mundi works. Like, or very little. You just know that you go in, time passes of some amount, and then you come out. You don't really know enough to control it. But anyway, so that part was all kind of silly, but it was very sweet at the end with Shaw and Keiko finding his letters and finding that he never stopped looking for her, and he always thought that she was still alive, so he never gave up, even until he died on, because I don't remember, but is it that he was killed in that, I think there were the skull crawlers or something was the name of those like giant skull monster things that we saw in Kong Skull Island. Yeah. So
I'm trying to remember when he dies, because I feel like he dies closer to the sea.
Yeah.
Which is why his bag
I thought it's like the
comes
last
up.
time you see him, and then but it's like the skull monsters like killing him or whatever. They like chase him down to like the rocky beach. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I like that. I like that part of it, and it was kind of a nice bookend there with that bit of relationship, and then so yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Maybe a little bit silly in some of the story details, but it's a monster show, so silliness is to be expected.
Yeah. How about you, Patrick? What'd you think of this one?
Yeah, it's pretty go from the get-go, and it does not stop. There is no stopping to consider things or to think about stuff or to figure out what the heck is actually going on here. Because everybody involved is moving to the same spot, basically. We're all going to be spectators to this giant fight between Godzilla and Titan X. At least I assume that's where we're going. If that's not where we're going, I'm going to be kind of like, what? You can't hype this way and not give it to me. So it was good to see the post Keiko, what goes on with Sean and Randa. And that was nice. It was good to see the whole, like, how they end up getting married. Keiko and Bill. So the past stuff was really good in this episode. The current 2017 or 2017 stuff was good. The C subplot with the time travel stuff, like I get that, like that would happen. Eventually somebody would figure out, oh, you can sort of sidestep time by coming in here. So somebody's going to try and use that for profit or personal gain, right? Like, I want to go in and see the future, right? Or I'm dying of this thing. Like, just the way she said it. And that's the main problem with it is, like, on one side of that rift, you have an island with giant monsters and also Titans. Like, because let's not forget, like, yes, the Titans are there, but they're the Titan level monsters. There are plenty of giant monsters on the island besides them.
Right.
So, let's say you kill Kong, you still have like, the 10-foot ants to worry about, or the tree monsters we got to see in this one.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that, you've got God knows what in Axis Monday. Like, it's just not I mean, it might be well thought out theoretically, but it's not, you can't execute it. There's not enough money or time.
Makes about as much sense as building a military base in the Upside Down.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I thought, generally speaking, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it.
I agree. I think we're there. It has its weaknesses as we're talking about as we get into this. But I think we're getting to the resolution of a lot of these threads are coming together, and we're going to get some good stuff. I think they're keeping, I would have liked more Godzilla on Titan X fighting, but I think they're keeping their their visual effects budget for Kong and Titan X, in the next episode. So I guess we can't have both. The Isabel Simmons thing kind of bugs me a little bit. Like, I think you brought that up. She's just not believable as a villain. I don't buy her. Like, she's like, what if a TikTok influencer, was an evil tycoon? I just don't. There's just something about her that just like screams. I make short videos, on the internet, and I have, followers. I just like. I think she's supposed to come across as a heavy, but she just feels like a lightweight in this role. I don't know if it's the writing, the actress, both. I don't buy it.
The actress is good. Like, she was in Prey, the Predator movie, and was excellent in that. So I don't think it's her necessarily. Yeah. I think it's the writing and the direction, because she also was introduced 2 episodes ago, and
right.
Like, in her tragic backstory is that she was ignored as a kid by her, billionaire parents.
Poor little rich girl.
And didn't, which, I mean, fair, like, it's not a good thing to be ignored. But then it seems like her whole thing for time, like I would understand if her motivation for trying to figure out the time travel was like, oh, I was, my parents were killed in this horrific accident. I want to try to stop that. Or, I want to try to fix something, or I want to make things better. But she's just like, I guess because she's ignored, she wants to, build something for herself, and she sees an easy, maybe an easy win here. I don't know. Her whole, her storyline, her background just is overall kind of, doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's just kind of flimsy.
Yeah. Is it me, or does her little group feel like some like tech startup out of Silicon Valley?
Right. And I do kind of feel like that's like, you feel that way because that's how it was written. Like that is how she is supposed to come across. Okay. She doesn't really know what she's doing. She does kind of feel like the spoiled rich TikTok influencer that has a tech startup underneath her that's kind of trying to do some stuff that maybe had some wins real quick here, but is probably not going to stay the distance.
They're not making it to their IPO.
And I think you're right. She's not written as a heavy. She really isn't. Yeah. It'd be tough for me to point down somebody who really was in this season, who kind of fulfills that role.
Right.
I think Brenda was probably the closest thing we had. And then even she turned out not to be, evil.
Right. And the guy, the guy who got the Godzilla breath.
Oh, Travis?
Yes.
Or Trissip?
Trissip. Jason.
Yeah.
Trissip.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody was the heavy, he was, I guess. I mean, he's just sort of a henchman, but yeah. I mean, and even Titan X really ends up not being the villain, which is kind of funny. Like,
right. Well, and I feel like I don't really remember there being a real heavy villain from the first season either.
Yeah.
And I really think it's because the true villains kind of show up in the movies, right? And in the movie that came before this season, Godzilla King of the Monsters, it was the eco terrorists, in conjunction with Ghidorah. And then in the movie that comes after this, it's
Apex.
What's his name? It's do what?
Mecha Godzilla,
yeah,
but Apex building Mecha Godzilla.
Right.
Yeah, it's Apex. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, her, daddy.
Yep.
Bad daddy. Okay. So I want to jump back to the beginning of the episode. We got like we said, Godzilla, has shushed Titan X to the island, and suddenly Shaw's all about Titan X going home. It's like, oh well, I guess that didn't work. Like, dude, you were willing to die for this. Like you betrayed Keiko for this, and now you're like, oh well, I got. Like, can we try to send him home now? So I thought that was kind of funny. He turned pretty quick on that one.
Yeah.
And then we have Kate and Kentaro and Isabel in the helicopter, and she's like trying to, how can you do this? Like to Kentaro, like, why are you doing this? And it's a good question, because I really don't get why Kentaro is doing any of this. And in fact, this was my second time watching it, but just before. But I'd forgotten the whole thing, like the whole "you're Neil Armstrong" speech. Like, what does Kentaro actually bring to the table other than my daddy and my grandparents were the Monarch people? Like, why is she so desperate to get Kentaro involved in this? That's something I'm having a hard time buying. I mean, does it make sense to you guys? Am I missing something?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that they need Kate there because she has some connection to Titan X. Like she was able to like get it to reveal the egg, and so maybe that's why, is that she has this like
except they're getting rid of her. They would put her on the helicopter to take her away.
Well, but when they're on their way there, though, I don't think that, like, when she's still trying to convince Kate to work with her. So I don't know if it's that they were like, she thinks Kate can be useful down the road. And that, she has to, if she can convince Kentaro about this, then maybe Kate will stay for Kentaro. I don't know. It's very flimsy.
Yeah. I assume she somehow got a hold of the script and she knows Kentaro's a major character, and so I got nothing. Like, right, yeah. It's like, oh, he needs to be here, so I'll pick him.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's an interesting exchange between Kate and Kentaro. She says, "What we're doing to Titan X and the egg is inhumane," and Kentaro says, "You keep forgetting that they're not human." And I'm like, dude, the inhumane thing isn't about the animals, it's about the humans. Like, when you torture animals, you're being inhumane. That says something about you, not the animal. And it's fascinating. I don't know whether it's the screenwriter or the character who didn't quite get it, but I hope it was the screenwriter who understood, because it says a lot about Kentaro that he where he is, that the accusation of being inhumane only applies to, like, it doesn't apply to the behavior of the humans toward the animals. I thought that was kind of an interesting little, very small little moment, but it struck me when I was seeing it. So, meanwhile, Monarch's Outpost 18 shows up, and so many red shirts go to the island with Tim and May.
Oh my gosh.
So many red shirts.
Like any good Skull Island visit, you got to bring a whole cadre of people to die.
I'm like, and you're gonna die, and you're gonna die. And the funny thing is none of them struck me as like special operator types, like special forces.
Yeah.
It's kind of the casting didn't exactly go to these are like hardcore soldier types. Yeah. There was just something about them, like they're kind of like skulking around, very fearful. So Keiko has this map from Billy that he mapped possible locations on Skull Island that were where Titan X could come and go from Axis Mundi. So he had the theory that there was a stable rift somewhere on the island, and that's how Titan X was coming on its migratory route all those years. And that's the interesting thing about like why maybe Godzilla let Titan X go, is it wasn't just the fact that Titan X was there. It was that the Titan X was doing things to rile up the humans, because Godzilla apparently didn't care when it was doing its migratory route for all those centuries. So I thought that was interesting. But so anyway, they're going to go find these rifts. And that's when we get our first flashback to 1958, Papua New Guinea, where Keiko and Billy get married. What'd you guys think of the wedding scene? Anything strike you on that one?
I mean, I think it was just perfect that Billy didn't have the words to say, because he's such a, like, mind is in the research, can't think of the human thing or the human connection thing, but he's still like, he loves Keiko, and and the guy tells him, just say yes, just say I do.
Say yes.
So I thought that was perfect for her. But then you like, after the decades or however long it was, I guess it was about a decade of him searching for her, like, he finally has the words, and that's after he knows of her and Shaw, like after he finds the dear Shaw letter,
right,
and knows about that. So he even, like, I think it just fits perfectly that he didn't know what to say at the moment, but like figured it out by the when it was too late, but he still was trying to send the messages in the bottle through the rift.
Yeah, Billy is so like high functioning autistic. It's so funny. Like, in the middle of the ceremony, he just stops and goes, "Probes." Like, what?
Yeah, interrupts the wedding, his own wedding. Have a work discussion.
Right. Oh, I gotta send an email. and Keiko,
Billy,
God bless her,
we're getting married.
So it's spur of the moment, it's rambling, and it's very Bill and Keiko, right? That's very much their thing. And it's only a few months before she gets lost in Axis Mundi from Kazakhstan. It's like or even it's even more than a month. Is it 58 or 59 that she gets lost? I forget now.
I believe it's 59 in Kazakhstan.
Okay, so like about a year later, I think it is then.
Yeah.
So
I think once this season's over, I'm going to try and get all of the past stuff from the first 2 seasons and see if I can watch it in order, just to make sure it all makes sense in my head when what happened where.
That's actually a good idea. I would love somebody to put that together in a YouTube video, just online, just like these are all the scenes in order. That would be good. I was curious. I didn't know the history why there was an Australian guy doing weddings in Papua New Guinea. So I looked it up. In the 1950s, Papua New Guinea was jointly governed by Australia and the UN under a protectorate. So there you go. The eastern half was, apparently. I'm not sure what the western half was doing. So the irony in all of this is that Isabel wants the Titan X to control it to make it open rifts. But there's already a stable rift on the island. But does that need a Titan to open it still, or is that always open? I'm not sure how the rifts work. I don't think I remember.
I think it might always be open, but I think you still have to ride a Titan to get, or you have to be either riding a Titan or have be on the trail, like getting drafted by a Titan as it's going through, as it's leaving Axis Mundi. I think you can go in Axis Mundi without needing, as long as there's an open rift. But I think to leave, you have to be caught in its backdraft, and swept up along the energy current.
Right.
At least that's the way my impression is.
Because you have Keiko get dragged down into one by giant bugs, which the question is what Titan are those related to, or collectively are they a Titan? And then you have Shaw and the team go down in a machine, and I can't remember if that's a rift they have to do something to try and open, or if that's something they go through just themselves.
Well, they find rifts throughout the show, because that's where what happened to Hiroshi is he went into a rift for a year in Alaska. So I think you can go into a rift without needing a Titan. You might need one to open it if it's not already opening on a pre-planned schedule or something. But
yeah, well, because they get out of the rift, or they get Shaw out of the rift at the beginning of this season without a Titan. Well,
they get Titan X.
It's Titan X. Yeah. That's right. But they open the rift from Skull Island.
They get Kate and May out of there without having to follow a Titan out.
Yeah, without falling a Titan out. So,
well, wasn't it there was? I thought it was.
Oh wait, they were fighting. Godzilla was fighting the Sonic Dragon. Yeah.
And they rode Godzilla, or they were brought back by Godzilla or the Sonic Dragon or something. The energy boosted them out of there, basically, is what I think.
Yeah, I got to dig a little deeper on that, because this is.
Now it's confusing. I really want to try and I got to try and reconcile the end of the first season and the beginning of this season.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't quite make sense anymore now that I think about it.
Yeah, because does Isabel's plan make any sense now? I was wondering, are we seeing an ironic moment where the rift where Lee and Keiko are, is that a way in and out of Axis Mundi that doesn't need them to torture poor Titan X to do it? It's kind of an interesting question. And I'm still kind of wondering what the mechanism is that she's planning on using to, I know she wants to pump up its aggression to kill Kong, which even then I still don't understand what the point of that is. Because again, as you point out, Patrick, there's a million other things on the island that are going to kill you without Kong there.
Yeah. Although the rest of them are not a giant, the rest are big, but the Kong is he's actually a Titan.
Like a monkey.
Yeah, he's a giant monkey that can stop you from whatever you're trying to do.
Right.
So I think that's why they want to get Kong out of the way.
Right. And he's shown himself to be not happy whenever a rift opens.
Yeah.
If we haven't said it, Isabel's plan is to sell people the idea of traveling one way into the future, essentially. Which is a fascinating idea. Like, hey, you got cancer? Maybe they'll have a cure for it in 5 years. Why don't you hop in there and come back out when 5 years have passed, after a few days.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fascinating idea, but it's a one-way trip. Apparently, although Kintaro seems to think that, and we're not going to get any resolution on this till next episode, he seems to think that there's a way to go back and change things to save Hiroshi. That was a bit weird. I'm not sure what leads him to believe that.
Well, I think it's just that he, without knowing the science of it, within the show, not saying it's real science, but without knowing the science within the show, you can time travel one way, why not time travel the other way? With enough time, he thinks he could, they think they could figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
But
just run backwards inside Axis Mundi.
That's right.
Very fast.
Well, if you spin around the Axis Monday world backwards and get it to spin
backwards. Superman?
Yes.
So Kate is trying to argue Kintaro out of this, and he's having none of it. But she's pleading with him not to make the mistake she did. And I like that Kate is sort of owning up to her mistake. Like this whole season has Kate recognizing I was precipitous in getting Shaw back the way I did. That would be, I made a big mistake. And, he's trying to say, well, you did this and why can't I do it? She's like, well, because what I did was a mistake and I'm living up to it. I'm acknowledging that. Don't do that. So I like that about what Kate's doing here. So they have the fascinating vine creatures, which Tim tips off that they're there as he trips over the vine. I thought that was funny. They are all up into the vines. Of course, May is the sole person who gets caught in a vine and doesn't end up in a mawmouth.
Yeah. Although I could have sworn that I saw one of the red shirts get eaten and then saw him later in a scene. I'm like, wait a minute, you're dead. And thinking it through just a little bit here, if these are really plant vine monsters, a lot of them, those type of creatures, they only have so much ability to contain a fighting creature.
Yeah.
So, if you were a fighting human and you were not, immediately overcome by the acid or killed by the spines or something, then you start shooting your way out. It might let you go.
Right. Well, yeah, they're shooting in all directions up at them, too. Those bullets flying everywhere.
This isn't Predator. You can actually see what's trying to kill you.
They want to see someone with a minigun, Arnold.
That wasn't Arnold. That was the governor of Minnesota.
The governor.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesse Ventura.
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse the Body Ventura.
There was a Hollywood action movie in the 80s which starred 2 state governors. Can you name the movie? That is going to be the best trivia question in 50 years.
Yeah.
The what?
What?
So I love in charge Tim. He kind of takes charge. He gives that soldier what for. And then he's kind of self-aware enough to kind of apologize. Like I'm sorry. It felt really good to kind of yell at you and be the boss. I really like Tim. Yeah. I think he's well written. He's fun. He feels like a regular guy.
Yeah. What I will say is I don't think this makes any sense for Monarch, to be completely honest. I'm like, you should kind of take the stance that Godzilla does, which is, why did you even wake me up for this? I drove the creature off. It's back in the thing now. Why did you call me for this? But it's, it's back in Skull Island now. It's not the world's problem anymore. It's Kong's and the Skull Islanders. Let them deal with it. If it comes back out of Skull Island, we'll just put a perimeter around there. But
yeah, why
do we got to send an away team in there to die? Because that's what's going to happen. Every time we go in there, we die. Does no one learn?
Right. what happens on Skull Island stays on Skull Island, please. I mean, I guess it's a rescue mission. They're just rescuing Kate and Kentaro. That's what they're there for. Yeah. But if I'm,
nobody watch the Skull Island movie?
But if I'm, Monarch mercenary guy, I'm like, what? Why am I going for this? What's the reason? Yeah. So we find out Isabel lied to Kentaro, surprise, surprise, about the plan to kill Kong. And when he calls her on it, she manipulates him again. If I did it, it was because I was scared you'd say no. Like, come on, dude. Don't fall for that. That was so transparent. Yeah. It is interesting how clueless Keiko is as well when it comes to the effect that losing her had on both Billy and Lee. She's like, Billy, why did he... he stopped doing his research. What changed? And Lee's like, duh, you died. That's what changed.
Everything, maybe, just maybe.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, but in 1959, they didn't know that Access Monday was down there. Like, they thought that there was just like,
oh, they thought she was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Billy had an idea that maybe there was something that she could have survived in, but I think Lee just like, she's down in some cave where the bugs ate her.
Yep.
So it makes more sense in that case of how Lee reacted. So she's kind of oblivious in that moment, but then when she discovers Billy's his camera in the Valley of the Bones,
that's a really well preserved valley. Like if there's no more skull monsters, like I don't know, like there should be the fact that you could pick up bullet casings from the 70s. They were just lying there on the dirt. I'm like, it's not how
Magic Island
weather works.
Magic Island. It doesn't matter.
Does it rain there? It looks like tropical.
I mean, you're not wrong. Magic Island. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is a nice moment. Because I always have to keep remembering, like, for Keiko, Billy was alive a couple weeks ago. Like, yeah, it's only been like I don't know how long she's been back. It's the amount of time is, as we've discussed, is a bit indeterminate. But say a month, 2 months that since she last saw him. So it's all fresh for her, and it's kind of, it's affecting to see her, go through the grief of realizing he's gone, as she finds this camera, that he always had with him. So that was a nice moment, and Lee kind of letting her grieve, not saying, oh, don't grieve, or, not saying something stupid, basically, but letting her grieve. Kate escapes from the brutal .com security guys who are hauling her off to the helicopter. I like the fact that she's running through this old Monarch base and runs by these giant claw marks in the wall and sort of just kind of like looks at it weird and then runs on, and we get no explanation. Like, there's no, but at some point, something got inside this base and, made claws marks.
Clawed it up.
Yeah. So we jump back to Billy. Now it's 1968. It's a decade later. He's teaching a very small class. Shades of Dr. Jackson, Daniel Jackson in the Stargate movie. This, talking about his crazy theories to a very small audience of people who just don't quite believe it.
Yeah.
And
wormhole here.
And then Suzuki shows up with another probe. So Suzuki's been making him probes for the rift. And Suzuki's kind of had it. He's like, you're ignoring the family you have while you're chasing the family you lost. Like, Suzuki's kind of in the camp of Kate's gone. I mean, not Kate, Keiko is gone. And you've got poor Hiroshi who's basically without his dad now. Like Hiroshi's in Japan, and while Billy is doing his thing. So and he kind of freaks out on Suzuki a little, like makes him give him the probe. And the tragedy is Billy was right all along. He was the one person who knew what was going on with the Titans. So he was throwing probes into rifts all over the world, and they were all coming out in one place on Skull Island, Grand Central Titan Station, or I think they call it Grand Central Station. I like that one of the places he threw it in was Loch Ness.
Yeah,
Nessie's the Titan.
Yep, makes sense to me.
And as we mentioned, every probe had a message for Keiko, from him. It was again very affecting. It was the best part of the episode. And then Kate runs into the egg, finds the egg. I'm not sure what she's going to do with it. But make a big omelet. Other thoughts about this episode? Anything else you guys want to mention about this?
Yeah, it's not a terribly deep episode.
No,
like the deepest parts of it is the Keiko, Bill, and Lee portions of it.
Yeah,
it's both the past and the present pieces of it. The rest of it is sort of just we're moving things along to the end is what we're doing, and there's not a lot of depth of you get the whole going into the future scheme sort of finally expounded, and then Kentaro still thinking maybe going to the past, but there's not a whole lot there, right? So the real heart of the show is those very few moments we get with Bill and Keiko and Lee, but so there's not, I don't know, there's just not a lot of philosophy in this episode like there has been in past ones.
It's kind of like we have 8 episodes of story, but we've got to write 10 because that's how many episodes we have to fill. So
we needed this episode to get us to the finale, basically. It's the bridge. Yeah. One last thing about Kentaro, and this is a point I put in my notes. So we get this heel turn, right? He's kind of he's betrayed the others and gone with Isabel, and you could explain part of that with his grief over his dad, dying, and you could explain his willingness to be used, but you can't really explain his inability to see through Isabel, and they kind of like keep him on the wrong side right up until we're going to take him into the finale, and it's probably no surprise that we'll have a resolution to that there. But it feels like they're spending the writers are spending their audience capital. You only get so much capital with the audience. They're kind of spending that, dragging this out, like you mentioned, because we need 10 episodes instead of 8. Am I wrong that it seems like he seems it's hard to believe? I mean, we kind of brought this up at the beginning, but I just wanted to kind of bring it around again after our discussion.
No, I don't think it's hard to believe. I think, Kentaro's story has kind of been a little bit like, okay, you're angry about your dad. We get that. But what you do with that is like, because if he was really wanting to give into his anger, he would go join Shaw and he would have tried to just get the Titans to kill each other to get them to kill each other and be out of humanity's way. Right. But and I guess they didn't really make it clear that Kentaro's has this belief. I mean, he says, I believe we could save Dad, but they could have, I feel like they should have set that up. Like if a couple episodes ago, he said, okay, if we can go into Access Mundi and time passes, and kind of have him start thinking of that idea and setting that up more, I would have bought it more, but they kind of just dropped it out of nowhere in this episode that, that Isabel wants to time travel and
he thinks that somehow if you wish hard enough, you'll be able to travel back in time.
Funny enough, it reminds me of the actions of another character, and that would be Kate in the first episode, and her monomaniacal desire to get Shaw back from Access Monday.
Right.
Where it seemed to me like she was just being railroaded by the plot or by the writers. Mm-hmm. kind of feels the same way here.
That's true.
Maybe this is just a trait of that family. They latch onto something and they're going to see it through to the bitter end. No matter what reason.
That seems to have to bear out from generation to generation to generation. They do seem to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's, Keiko kind of did it, with the whole Kazakhstan thing, and then Randa does it, Bill does it with Skull Island. Effectively, we see that in the movie. And so maybe this is just the family.
Hiroshi does it. Yeah. And that's true. That's true.
The whole, I'm going to, commit to this Monarch thing and have two families at the same time.
I'm off to Alaska. I may be back sometime later.
Yeah. Sometime later. Maybe this is just a trait of this family. This is what we do.
Some families, they have barbecues, not the Randas. Any other thoughts on this episode? Anything I didn't get to? If you guys wanted to make sure we got to, Patrick, nothing.
No, I'm just looking forward to, honestly, at the end of the day, I'm looking for giant monsters fighting each other. That's what we're all here for.
Yep.
I got a little taste of that last episode. Not much this episode, but next episode, I better be getting some, or something's gone terribly wrong. Because
you won't be disappointed.
That is what we're here for. Like, right. I joke about for the movies. It's the dialogue is rah rah rah, and then there's humans in there somewhere, but who cares what their dialogue is?
Their dialogue is a lot of squish. Jeff, how about you? Anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up?
Yeah, nothing else.
All right. So that'll do it for this episode. Next time will be the finale. And hopefully at some point we'll get a season 3. Still no word on that. So before we go, we want to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create the secrets of television, including Ross N., Allison M., John, Mary Claire L., and Jordan S. Their generous donations at GiveStarQuest.com make it possible for us to continue the secrets of television and all the shows at StarQuest, and you can join them by visiting GiveStarQuest.com. So that's it from us. We'd love to know what you think of Monarch Season 2, especially this episode, Ends of the Earth. Let us know by commenting on the show at sqpn.tv, sqpn.com/TV, or send us an email to tv@sqpn.com, or visit the StarQuest Discord community at sqpn.com/Discord. Until next time, Patrick Mason, thank you for joining us and sharing the secrets of television.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Jeff Haecker, thank you as well.
Thanks, Dom.
And once again, I'm Dom Bettinelli. Thank you for listening to the Secrets of Television on StarQuest. Here's another show on the StarQuest Network you're sure to enjoy. The Secrets of Sacred Art. Find it wherever fine podcasts are found or at starquest.fm/art.